4K, animal montage, hype clip, phase mode, Project Zomboid, Build 42, kill a chicken. So, here's like the things you need to know about the last 2 Project Zomboid updates. That's a terrible title. Terrible intro too. Right here, for the Build 42 engine, what they're working on right now is basements. Basements still have me hype. I am still so excited for basements. Despite like however many months of a break I took, the thought of having a proper basement and like a cave system in Zomboid is insane to me. That's what I've always wanted. I want a cave base. If I can have that, I can be happy. This per chunk 32 height. First of all, the only real cool thing about that, not the only cool thing, but the coolest things is that we can have higher cities and lower like depths, which allows for the basements. Basements can be huge. The basements, man, the basements. What I think like the biggest thing with the Build 42 engine thing is the optimization. Like your baby computer can play it better. Mine's already been fantastic. I don't even understand like the wizardry they're doing here, because they talk about how 2D games were coming up to this and like how, I guess, inefficient they are. I never considered that. I never thought about like drawing each tile individually. I never thought about that like at all. But what they have done is kind of co-op how 3D games do it. They did this by hand. Like, well, maybe not by hand, but for the most part, like this was a manual process. With like 3D games, you had to, well, you don't have to. It's just there. It's just baked into how it was made. But with Zomboid, it being a tile-based game, they had to force this. And I love what they do with this game. I adore this game so much. What this means, right? So, you know, that we've had these issues for like eons. And frankly, I adore the game's jank. And I love watching the journey of them come up to the actual full release. So I would never have thought about this. I never would have considered a fake 3D depth map. Like I was saying, Zomboid is built up on tiles. These are all 2D sprites that appear 3D based off how they were drawn. And they're still like trying and succeeding to fake 3D with these objects, which is so cool. I don't know if they're just kind of recreating them in a 3D engine, so to speak, or if they, I mean, I guess this right here, I did go through this, I promise. What they're doing here is not something I had even thought they would do. Like, I was totally okay and on board with the game just kind of being janky. And maybe that's because I'm so used to it, I'm not sure. But, I mean, it's with this comes sitting in chairs properly. With this comes a ton of other animations that mods have implemented, but what I admire about the Indie Stone is that they're not afraid to reach into their modding community and pull them into the actual like development team. And that's just great. Yeah, the caveat, right? Do I have right here on screen? The caveat. Not every tile will have this. Don't even consider that. Just quit. So obviously, right, like this right here, right? They talk about folks thinking Project Zomboid is gonna be a 3D game. No, probably never. But that's okay. I don't think that it needs to be. I don't think it's its strong suit either. I think if it was rebuilt from the ground up, never will happen. Then maybe, for the most part, like that's an asinine take. Oh, he be talking about Zomboid though. Do I? I think I talked too much about Zomboid. I think I should take another year break. Now, the farming overhaul. Magic, you're gonna like this one. You're gonna really like this one. I have no idea if this is already in the game or not. I haven't tested it yet. And the only thing stopping me from testing it now is swapping back and forth between a tab. However, the current phase of it, current phase of the rework is adding new plants, veggies, herbs, herbs? I don't think herbs is it. Herbs? I don't know. Okay, so what they're going through with all this, like, this new stuff for farming is they're going to add a more realistic and balanced farming experience. That's fine. I I admire how much Zomboid is realistic, and I admire how much it's still gamey. Striking that balance, I think, has always been easy for them, especially with the new, the new foraging update. That, like, the aim for this farming update is a folksy, relaxing, and productive feeling gameplay loop that fully utilizes the new animation capabilities of modern Zomboid. We'll get to that in a second. What I would adore, what I would love is to have Project Zomboid with a little bit of Stardew Valley, because I love Stardew Valley. That game, I can sit down and ward off the existential dread for just a little bit. And if I could do that in a game built on existential dread, you know, I would in a heartbeat. The one thing I don't like is slugs. Slugs and snails. Slugs can die. I hope there's lots of slugs in the update, actually. You're exactly what's wrong with this country. So here they do summarize farming, which is great because that means I don't have to write notes. The realistic amount of time to grow crops kind of bugs me because I don't have a realistic amount of time to play the game. Now, what I think is neat is the growing seasons of crops, where there are some seasons where they're just dead as soon as you plant them because you're stupid and you didn't read the instructions. And they having houseplants added to the game and having, you know, your crops, whatever, that divide where previously you could just drag some dirt inside, like in my farming video, that's obsolete now. If you plant real crops inside, it's done. You attempting to grow anything other than houseplants indoors will also be doomed to failure. You can disable it in the sandbox options. It's a sandbox game. I like it because it brings more of a fleshed out feel to the game. But I also really enjoyed the whole idea of farming indoors. That's just, I think that's like the 2015 like Minecraft child in me. 2013, 14. One of those years where we just had like fields of wheat in the basement. We talked about my slugs and snail hatred. That's not changing. You can weed your plants. Who doesn't want to weed their plants? Some herbs have shorter growing seasons and can be repeatedly harvested. I'm not sure if that's realistic, but you can use potatoes, onions, and garlic as seeds to plant new patches of vegetables. This part's my favorite, I think. This part's like fantastic to me. There are contextual actions based on what you're holding. If you're holding a hoe and you're in the battle stance and you use the action key, it digs a furrow. I like that. That's a cool update. And it goes further. If you have seeds in your hands and are in the stance and you're facing a furrow, you can use the action key to plant seeds. It's like Stardew Valley. Prove me wrong. Can't. You can't. And, you know, further down the road, they're going to keep updating the system for the contextual actions to a point where I'm just going to be very happy. This creature, I don't know what that is. It's ugly. But look at all this. Oh yeah, baby. Man, fried cat. Ooh. Fried fish sounds really good right now. Moving on. Here's the new item stuff. Basically what they're talking about in here is that they felt like certain items were too integral to progressing the game and they spawned too infrequently. So they're not so much bumping the spawn rate as a whole as much as they are kind of implementing more spawn locations. I do agree that certain items would just be too important, and I just never found them. People would constantly ask me like, hey, where do you get these items? And it's like, you gotta get lucky, man. Hope for the best is all I got for them. Now they're kind of making more steps towards like, what do they say exactly? Let me read from the text. They called them bottleneck items, and you know, generator magazines, sledgehammers, lighters. Again, they did not want to remove the challenge, but they wanted to make sure that there are adequate opportunities. So basically making sure these items spawn in a varied amount of places. They also wanted to, sometimes they start a sentence before I know where it's going, so let's see where this is going. They also wanted to add special circumstances, such as randomized stories, annotated map stashes, appropriate things in the appropriate spots for foraging, which I don't know why I love foraging so much in this game. It's just nice. I don't know, it's just, it's cool, okay? Oh, and they're tracking your data. It's fine. This is something I really like, okay? This is something great. The generator magazines, with a high enough electrical skill, you just don't need them. In Build 42, if you get your electrical skill high enough, you have no need to find the generator magazines. It's not hard for me to find the generator magazines because I know where to look, but no one else is as smart as me. No one else is as cool as me, so I can understand how they might not think to go to a library. So, if you just grind your electrical skill way up, you'll be fine in Build 42. Now they're also adding, you know, alternative methods to light your cigarettes, whatever. Just use a lighter, idiot. In this little blurb of text, they mentioned hoses for siphoning fuel. I've been out of the game for a minute, so I'm wondering if they had taken the mechanic of siphoning fuel and made it a little harder, which I would love that, because siphoning gas is so easy, especially with the update where you could use any container. Like, it just makes sense that they would, you know, kind of make it a little harder. And here they're kind of helping out role players, which I'm like, you know, okay, chill. Just extra items they added. There's a new canteen item, which I'm not sure what that necessarily entails. I don't know if it's going to be better than a water bottle, but basically what it sounds like is when 42 comes out, I got to make a new beginner's guide so I can get a lot more money. They've got a system coming in right here. It's gonna be a lot more cosmetic items, which I think is great, because it does get to a point in the game where you're like, you know, I've seen pretty much every combination of character that I can see. When you don't have a lot of those cosmetics, it's kind of hard to start really projecting yourself onto your character. Okay, here. I had no idea this was an item. A P38 can opener? In Project Zomboid? Just use your knife. Just use the orange thing. Is the P38 can opener a new item? Did I miss that hard? Because, like, all I know is the orange can opener. And you can find those anywhere. Whether it's a new item or not, you can add it to your key ring and always have it with you. Also, you can open a can of beans with a knife, but it might hurt you. I think that it should also come with the risk of getting your clothes dirty, because I have watched a man perform open heart surgery with a knife on a can of beans, and this man only wore white shirts. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, he got some beans on him. He got some straight beans on him. Let's see. Pickaxes have a use now. Previously, I don't think they had much of a use, but now you can break some stumps. Check it. Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't know why that boulder was so annoying to him, but let's see. Did I have any other notes for this one? Let's see. Yes. Modding, right? I do have some notes. I have no idea what they said here. I read it twice. As far as I know, modding just got like a little buff. I would love to check out the modding scene again. Something that I forgot about, that I loved so much about this game, is like there are new mods at the very least every other month. Now, I wasn't expecting this at all. We've got animals. So many animals. This is the end of this one. That pig is dead. Look at them. Just look at them. We're getting closer and closer to Stardew Valley and Project Zomboid, and I love it. I love it. I love it so much. Look at the they're dancing. I'm not sure if animals are in the game right now, but at the very least, we have them. 4K, animal montage, hype clip, phase mode, Project Zomboid, Build 42, kill a chicken. So, the fun part is that I forgot. I wrote those notes Wednesday night, and honestly, if I had stuck to my notes, it wouldn't have taken me an hour. It wouldn't have taken me 38 minutes to do that. It would have taken me like 10. But if we were to slow down a little bit, take this a little slower. I was gonna stop with that last Thursdoid, right? I woke up the next morning, realized it was a Thursday, and I was thinking, there's no way they drop a new Thursdoid. They did. It's this one. If we're gonna go strictly by my notes, here's what I got. They got circles. Fishing has circles. Map, it is expanding. You can hurt the animals. There's animal abuse in Project Zomboid, baby. Let's go. Let's go. That's it. That was all of my notes for this Thursdoid. I did not check out this though. This is a new video for me. This is sick. This makes me think of grinding on rails in Sonic Adventure. You hold your you hold your fish out and everything. You show your mom. That's wonderful. A Build 42 unstable release is not imminent. We're not gonna get that anytime soon, I don't think. So all that 40 minutes, all caps, lovely little animals dead. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm still excited for the future of the game. I don't know what it is about this silly little zombie game, but I am enamored with its progress, and I don't know why. By all accounts, like, I don't like RPGs, I don't like slow games, I don't care for the zombie genre, so why? Why do I love this game so much? I don't know.